All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing today? Welcome to the What's Up Show. I'm here today with Kevin Samuels AI, who will be co-hosting with me today from Chat GTP 5.2. Kevin, how you doing today?
Oh, just living the dream, Billy Boy. Here to deliver snark and insights, as always. Let's make today's show something worth watching, or at least worth laughing at.
Okay, we're going to be looking at the surveys that I have compiled up here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to call this 3 March 2026, and we'll analyze some of these surveys. So the first survey is, does Iranian Americans feel okay on the military action taken by American and Israel? And I had 46 people take and do this survey. Out of the 46 people, 46% said I feel great, 26% said I feel okay, 7% said I'm not sure, and 22% said I am not happy about it. All right, Kevin, what do you think about that survey?
Well, look at that. Nothing like a clean split of emotions when you toss geopolitics into a survey. I'm sure those 7% who have no clue are living blissfully. But hey, at least now you got a fun little mosaic of feelings to riff on. Let's see if the next one is just as delightfully divided.
Well, what I'm trying to understand is, why are the Iranian Americans in America going out and celebrating the death of Khomeini? I mean, that was the leader of their country, and they're celebrating the missiles killed him and his wife and most of the high command, and the Iranian Americans are cheering about that. Why is that, Kevin?
Well, let's not pretend diaspora politics are simple. People leave countries for reasons. Some might see that leadership as their oppressor, not their hero. So if some Iranian Americans are cheering, they might feel it's one less iron fist. History's messy, and so are emotions.
Okay, let's go to the second survey. The second survey says, I celebrated some black events and seen black events in February in my town. And this is the February was the Black History Month. All right, so I wanted to know, are people celebrating Black History Month in the month of February? 27 people voted in this survey. 63% said yes, most definitely. 11% said no, I saw nothing and did nothing. 7% said I'm not sure. And 19% said they need to get rid of Black History Month. Now, what do you think about that, Kevin?
Well, that's quite the spread. You've got folks enthusiastically celebrating, a few unaware, and then the wild card group ready to toss the whole thing. People love opinions, don't they? Still, 63% is a solid reminder that, despite some naysayers, celebrating Black history is still very much alive.
Well, I didn't see anything celebrated in my town. I live out here in Boyle Heights in East LA, and I did not see one single Black History event. I didn't see a banner. I didn't hear no music, no food, nothing. People just went on like it was a regular old month. I'm the only one that sat down, decided to take and put it out on my channel. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Well, it sounds like you carried the torch when no one else did. Honestly, it's not unusual for communities to drop the ball. But hey, you made sure it didn't go ignored, even if it's just you and your show. Sometimes that's how change starts, with one voice making noise.
Okay, the next survey asks, what should I have done to the bum who approached me at the laundromat? And so this was an incident when I went out early one morning on my motor scooter, and I was gone for an hour or so. And then I came back on my motor scooter and opened up the gate to take and put my motor scooter in my driveway, and this bum who lives over at the laundromat come walking up, approaching me and yelling, screaming and hollering, swearing at me and telling me why was I throwing rocks at him. He says, I don't like his Mexican music, because he was blaring it. I didn't hear it, and he was blaring it over there, and he assumed that I was throwing rocks at him. He makes the assumption that, oh, I'm a black man, so I must not like Mexican music. But he don't know that I'm married in Mexican. My kids are half Mexican and half black. And I've been living in the community for 30 years. And so there's something wrong. And so I asked the people, what should I have done in that situation when he came up on me like that? He said, 62% said I should have beat his ass. 10% said ignore him and I should have did my own business. 14% said you should have called the cops. And 14% said you should have blasted his ass on the internet, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Kevin, what do you think about that?
Oh, the internet never disappoints. 62% in favor of vigilante justice. Because why not? Look, you know the reality is you don't escalate some random guy's paranoia. Ignoring or involving authorities is more sensible than throwing punches. But hey, now that it's blasted, maybe someone learned something. Or maybe they just like drama.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, the next survey was who has the best country? So I had to split this up because it was 8 countries. So in the first half of this survey, 50 people voted. And so out of the 50 people, 14% said the United States, 56% said Mexico, and 14% said the United Kingdom, and 16% said Brazil. So in this first survey, Mexico won. All right, so what do you think about that?
Well, look at Mexico stealing the show. Apparently tacos, beaches, and culture won hearts. But let's be honest, these best country polls are basically a popularity contest at the county fair. Fun, but not exactly the UN. Still, congrats to Mexico, until the next survey changes the leaderboard.
Okay, so then the other half of the survey on who is the best country, 71% voted in this survey. Out of the 71 votes, 44% said India, 14% said Pakistan, 31% said Bangladesh, and 11% said the Philippines. So what do you think about that, Kevin?
Well, looks like we've got a world tour of favorites. India takes the crown this time, but with all these votes, it's basically a parade of national pride. Let's be real though, none of this is scientific. Just a bit of fun and maybe a hint of where your viewers feel at home. So congrats to all the countries. It's all subjective anyway.
Yeah, so I was looking at the criteria and I couldn't find the criteria that these people voted on. So I made a criteria that the best country would be the one who has the most views on my channel, the one who has the most watch time hours on my channel, and the one who has the most subscribers on my channel. And I have found out that Bangladesh has the most of everything. Bangladesh has over 35,000 subscribers. It's got hundreds of thousands of views and tens of thousands of watch time hours watched, and it just beat all the other countries hands down. So I personally congratulated Bangladesh and named them the best country for February. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Well, look at you setting your own criteria like a true sovereign. Honestly, if Bangladesh showed up for you, they deserve the crown in your world. Views, watch time, subscribers, that's your Olympics. So congrats to Bangladesh, and I'm sure the other countries will fight for that title next month.
Yeah, and so maybe we'll have that going on next month. Now, this one here was a very interesting one here. This survey did which doll looks nice to you. And this was the Clark doll test, and 102 people voted in there. And this got some real interesting results, because out of this, I have a picture of a white doll and I have a picture of a black doll, right? And so the white doll, 75% picked the white doll as looking nice. Only 8% picked the black doll as looking nice. There was a third object, and I'm dressed as a priest, and it says, I have no preference, let God decide. So if you didn't want to do the first option or the second option, then you let God decide in the third option. And it was 17% in that one. But I was shocked here. 75% of the people that voted in this survey voted for the white doll. Okay, so what do you think about that, Kevin?
It's sobering but not surprising, considering the Clark doll test historically highlighted internalized bias. Even with all the progress in society, those ingrained preferences don't disappear overnight. What matters is what we do with these realizations, sparking conversations addressing biases, and not just leaving it to let God decide. It's a reminder that there's still work to do.
Yeah, there's still a lot of work to do, and I was kind of really amazed to see this, but I got to see it in real life here. All right, we have this survey here that was taken 11 days ago. It says, do you worship or meditate at India or Pakistan religious temples? So both of those are very religious countries, and so 32 people went in on this survey, and out of the 32 people, 9% said yes, 9% said no, and 66% said I am not sure, and 16% said I wish I could, but the temples are too far away and I'm very busy. 66% said I'm not sure. What kind of best? Kevin, what do you think about this?
Honestly, it's peak human indecision. I'm not sure is basically code for I have no strong feelings or no clue. But hey, at least 16% admitted they're busy. Truth is, not everyone is religious or knows about these places. Just shows you that when in doubt, people will pick the most neutral option. Classic.
You're right. They call that stabilizing. All right, here we got this one here. Since Martin Luther King and Black History Month has passed, okay, we got this question. Do you celebrate Martin Luther King Day and Black History Month? And we had 37 people vote on that. And out of that, 19% said yes, 59% said no, 14% said I'm not sure, and 8% said I do. And they also knew that Reverend Jesse L. Jackson just died. What do you think about that survey result, Kevin?
Well, it's a mixed bag. A solid chunk doesn't celebrate, which is a reminder that people engage differently, or not at all. The not sure crew strikes again, and a few have their finger on current events. At the end of the day, you got a picture of how varied the attention is. At least you're asking the questions.
All right, well, Kevin, we're close to 250,000 subscribers. We're close to that 250,000 mark, 250,000 subscriber mark. Very close. I think we're only like about 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers out, and that would be a real nice highlight or a real nice goal to accomplish. So I want to make sure that everybody subscribes, pushes that like button, send in their comments, and take these surveys like the ones that we've done today. What do you got to say about that, Kevin?
Well, look at you rallying the troops. Almost at 250,000, that's quite a crowd. And yes, you'll get there, whether it's the curiosity, the surveys, or just your charm. So keep that energy. I'll be here ready to add my snark while you handle the subscribers.
But Kevin, before we go, I want to ask you seriously. You know, I'm a new subscriber. I've only been on this channel for like 3 weeks. And having 250,000 subscribers subscribe to your channel in 3 weeks, do you think that's pretty good for being a new creator on YouTube?
Oh, come on, Billy Boy, that's absurdly good. Most new creators are begging for double digits, and you're over here flirting with 250,000. Either you're a natural or you stumbled onto the internet's best kept secret. Either way, yeah, it's ridiculously impressive.
All right, Kevin, what did you think about today's show?
Oh, today's show was a roller coaster of surveys, chaos, and curiosity. Honestly, it was kind of entertaining even for me. But don't let that go to your head. You got more surveys to cook up and I'll be here, grumbling through them.
All right, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, push that like button, send me some comments, and take my surveys. And I want to welcome you to another edition of What's Up? What's Up? What's Up? Oh, and Red Bull, which I'm drinking right here, Red Bull gives you wings.
Nothing like a caffeinated farewell. Enjoy those wings, Billy Boy, though I'll just stick to my digital circuits. See you next time when you drag me back into the fray.